Omar Hajajleh and his family enjoy a majestic view from their ancestral home on the southern outskirts of Jerusalem. But getting to his workplace in the city can take hours of waiting at security checkposts. Now Omar's life is getting more complicated as the Israeli separation barrier looms closer, and Omar fears will soon divide his house from the rest of his village of al-Wallaja. So the Israelis are building him a personal tunnel as his connection to the village. But that's no consolation for Omar, whose backyard is already bound by an electronic fence.
Life
is hard with the digging and all the problems. The kids are literally in a prison. The fence is 10 meters around my home. There's no place for them to play. There will be no childhood. They're depriving them from their childhood.
You might wonder why Israelis are willing to spend a reported $800,000 to build this one tunnel for just one family. Well, Palestinians say they're sure they do know why, that it's part of a grander plan to squeeze them out of another big chunk of the West Bank.
Researcher Jad Isaac says al-Wallaja is standing in the way of Israel's long-term plan to complete a ring of Jewish settlements that would surround neighboring Bethlehem. Tunnels, he says, would eventually become al-Wallaja's only means of access to the outside world.
Al-Wallaja will have about 3 to 4% of its land available to the 2,000 people, while the rest will be expropriated land, and they will have only one entrance and one exit, which is through the tunnel that links it to Bethlehem.
The Israeli military denies that the wall will divide the village. It says the underground passage will only cross beneath a security road alongside the wall, which Omar is not allowed to use. Yet Omar says he's been offered lots of money to relocate. He refuses.
We'll stay here. Whether they build a wall, a tunnel, we're going to stay here until the last day.
Meanwhile, Omar has lost his last appeal in the Israeli courts. When the judge is your persecutor, he says, don't expect much justice. Tom Ackerman, Al Jazeera, in the occupied West Bank.